In Sweden, life expectancy is long, but that doesn't stop people making plans early for what happens when they die. Here, taxes help pay for everything from the cradle to the grave, and that includes funerals. No one wants to dwell on dying and death, but I've heard that Swedes are better prepared for it than most. And I've come to Gothenburg to find out how. But first, I've been invited to a funeral. Tommy Wiberg was 77 when he died. His family has planned this service down to every last detail. Like all Swedish funerals or cremations, all the basic costs are covered by the funeral tax that Tommy paid all his life. I watched as every person at the service was given a chance to say their own farewell to Tommy. Each flower is a personal goodbye, in keeping with Swedish tradition. Afterwards, at the wake held in Tommy's favourite restaurant, family and friends remembered a man who'd lived his life to the full. His close family told me the funeral and wake were everything that they and Tommy had wanted. Tommy's daughter said attitudes have changed.
It's sad, but it's not tragic. That we know that this day will come, and we just have, it's one more thing that life entails. The funeral shouldn't be just for the one who died. They shouldn't be able to plan it in the smallest detail, because it's there for us who's left. Yeah.
I wanted to find out more about the tax that helped Tommy's family arrange his funeral.
Hello, how do you do? I'm Penny. Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Please, come on in.
Jenny Ann Gunnarsson, a funeral director, says it means families can concentrate on adding the extras. She says this more practical approach also helps people plan ahead more openly, because they're not worried about the costs.
Well, it's through our tax system. We all pay towards that.
And that provides all of this infrastructure
Yeah.
that's available to people when they die.
Yeah. Chapels, some of the transports, the cremation, a place to be buried, or the, a place of interment. And I can't even imagine if we didn't have that system.
With so much of the costs of dying met by the state, a level of financial stress has been removed.
What I'm learning is that most Swedes have a more open attitude towards dying and death. It's not just that they're better prepared financially and more practical about it. They also seem more able to talk about it. It's as if they're more easily accepting death as a natural part of life.
And nowhere is this more obvious than at a coffee morning which everyone has come to specifically to talk about grief and dying. Death cafes like this are not unique to Sweden, but they're becoming popular here. This one was advertised on social media. Most who've come are strangers.
Nothing about what's happening here feels in any way morbid. Far from it. The atmosphere is relaxed, and the discussion that they're having, well, it's open and it's honest. What is it that makes you want to come and share talking about death and dying?
Death is life, somebody said here. I also think I'm my age now, people around me. My father died a couple of years ago. My mother started death cleaning the house, and other relatives. It's coming closer.
There was lots of talk here about the phenomenon of death cleaning, and I learned that that's throwing out or giving away possessions before we die. It's a uniquely Swedish idea, downsizing for death. It's catching on here as a way of life.
Every time when I clean my the cellar, I'm thinking, okay, if I die now, is this something my kids want, or is it useful for me? No, throw it away. So I'm thinking about death every time I'm cleaning.
I wanted to find out how death cleaning as an idea had begun, and the answer lay in Stockholm. It started as a book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, written by a widow, Margareta Magnusson, in what she describes as her twilight years. She told me her success is because she's broken the taboo about death.
When I mentioned death, because that's so scary, people don't want to talk about it, which is very silly, I think, because that's the only thing that's obvious that we have to, that is coming to us. So, don't save things for your children if they don't tell you this is something that I would like to have.
So do you feel more free?
Yes, I think so. It's really a freedom.
So there is a message here. There's a message here about how to live, isn't there?
Yes, I hope so. Get rid of the abundance and have fun.
And death cleaning has its evangelists.
This is going out. These
That's
are jigsaws that I have.
Where will they go to?
Friends.
Elizabeth Kolosh is minimising her possessions to get the maximum out of life.
This is far too much. So this box will become 20 photographs. Yes, it's my grandfather and my mother. How fun. I'll keep that.
She's ruthless. Not much makes the final cut.
Oh, awful. These ones I've looked through. I don't want them. I don't want them.
Elizabeth says death cleaning should be a continual process, almost a cleansing. And it's about being considerate too.
One is for the relatives that remain after you, to be kind to them, not to give them the painstaking work of what you have not done. That is the main thing, because it gives you self-esteem also, that you can actually put yourself above your objects.
Is it more about how you live or more about preparing to die?
It's a good question. It can be both. I'd like to share this with everybody around the world, of how satisfying it can be. So I wish everybody good death cleaning.
I left Elizabeth feeling that I was beginning to understand how dealing with the practicalities of dying has helped the Swedes I'd met better prepare for death. Their funeral tax reduces the final stress of planning for it, and their death cleaning reduces the emotional stress of talking about it. And perhaps discussing death a bit more easily is a useful reminder of just how much every second of life counts.